Hi, I'm Tabitha.
And I'm Brittany.
And we're from Oklahoma.
And you're watching the Philip DeFranco Show.
This is a news show.
Hello and welcome to the Monday Show. If you're not familiar, my name's Philip DeFranco, and this show really isn't a show. It's just me talking about some of the stuff that mattered in the news to me. And the first thing I'm going to talk about today is Cyber Monday. Cyber Monday is the very calm and relaxed online version of Black Friday. Which, on a side note, if you've ever wanted to buy for yourself or someone else like some Philly D merch, like these posters, or even other cool posters, for the next 24 hours I put up a Cyber Monday sale where all my stuff is essentially $5 to $20 off. Link in the description, so I knock that out of the way. But America, let's talk about Black Friday. It was crazy this year. Black Friday, of course, the consumer holiday where really cool stuff has really low prices. And in kind of good news for America, $52.4 billion was spent this year. That is a record. That is up 16% from last year, and it kind of leaves me boggled because this is an Occupy Wall Street America. I mean, usually in a recession when the economy is bad, people hold on to their money, they don't spend it, things get worse. But we saw a 16% increase this year. So it means one of two things. One, America might finally be coming out of this double dip recession. Or two, people just love going crazy over cheap bullshit. For example, I don't know if you've seen this. This is literally video of a near riot started because people were like, $2 waffle makers. Look at them. They're like fat piranhas. And then of course there was the story of a 61-year-old man who was, trying to participate in Black Friday, had a heart attack. People didn't even help him. They just stepped over him. But easily the best story for Black Friday 2011 was a woman in a Los Angeles Walmart who really wanted a good deal on an Xbox, so she pepper sprayed 20 people. Oh. Remember that UC video? Essentially like that, but for an Xbox. The woman has turned herself in, but people, you are crazy. And if we get anything out of this year's Black Friday, it is Americans are crazy, but it may help the recession. So there is that. And guys, moving on to a story I wanted to talk about last week, but of course I took the time off. Time magazine. And in all honesty, I have not looked inside a Time magazine in ever. What I do know about Time magazine is everyone makes a huge deal about who's on the cover. And something that was really crazy was the December 5th issue of Time magazine was different per country. Now that is not odd. Many magazines have different covers, different topics, because, you want to talk about what people should care about in that area. So Time magazine in Europe had this, Asia had this, South Pacific had this, and the US had this. So let's play which one doesn't belong in this, which one doesn't belong in this. America, that's right. I'm so glad we could share this Dora the Explorer moment. But it's kind of funny when you look at this. Everywhere else in the world is talking about revolution, change, people standing up because their situation is terrible. In America, the exact opposite. Not only saying anxiety is a normal thing, but it in fact might be good for you. Not being happy, overwork, underpaid, that's good, but it's a little fire in your drive. Main point, Time magazine is not a big deal, but seeing news outlets and publications essentially nurture ignorance. Kind of disappointing. I mean, that's half the reason I make these videos. I tell the nation some of the stuff that's going on and my opinion on it, which you may or may not agree with. So kind of crazy stuff, and we move on. And we move on to the douchebags of the day. And that was a man aboard a Delta plane en route to Boston from Salt Lake City was arrested for allegedly viewing child pornography. Wow. So reportedly, a fellow passenger saw 47-year-old Grant Smith looking at porn in flight. Which one, that is disgusting, but two, how do you not have the willpower to not look at child porn for 4 hours? And in your seat, no less. That's why God made iPads. Main points, ew. And Grant Smith has been arrested. His bail is set at $15,000. We move on to possibly one of my favorite stories of the day, and it comes from Canada. Now in Canada, they have this thing called the CFL, the Canadian Football League, which good job Canada, you found something Americans care about less than European soccer, otherwise known as football to the rest of the world. But back on track, the Canadian Football League was having a luncheon, and they had some old players get on stage. On the left, you have 73-year-old Joe Cap, former quarterback of the BC Lions, and on the right, you have 74-year-old Angelo Mosca, a former defensive tackle for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And it starts off innocently enough, but this happened. Yes! Old guys fighting, that's the best thing ever! My favorite thing is that everyone thinks it's all like a joke at the beginning, and then all of a sudden the cane comes out, and then Joe Cab's like, oh, you got a cane? I got my fist! Falcon punch! Ah, good times. Canada, you've done well. Between that and 80% of your women being the hottest people on the planet, you might be my favorite. And briefly moving on, I wanted to remind everyone about PIPA and SOPA. While sounding cute, one is the Protect IP Act, and the other Stop Online Piracy Act. And while a lot lot of you signed petitions and contacted your representative. We need more people to do it. And it's scary because Majority Leader Harry Reid is thinking of moving on Pippa as soon as next week. If you don't remember why these things are a bad thing, short story, it's going to censor the internet and set up a lot of really bad things. Long story, link in the description to the video where I talked about it. It is insane. Also in the links down below, I've included a link where you can actually contact your representative, so do it. What's 5 minutes? Once again, main points, stand up, speak out while you can. That's really it. And we move on to the final story of the day. It's something that happened over the weekend, but let me bring you up to speed. Emma Sullivan is a Kansas teenager who criticized Governor Sam Brownback on Twitter. Sounds really petty, doesn't matter, because it's Twitter. And so then the governor's office did something that was very high school, which I guess is kind of appropriate. They called the school to get her in trouble. The principal reportedly taking her into the office and saying, like, you need to apologize, here are the points you need to do, and she was like, okay, I'll apologize. But then the internet happened. And I love it when the internet happens. It's like my favorite thing. There was this huge online swell of support for Emma out of nowhere. And this led Emma to say, I don't apologize. I've had a change of heart and I would do it again. Now, so here's the thing that has a lot of people on the fence, two different sides. One, Emma didn't actually make those mean comments to him in person, but you still want to say this dude sucks. And so some people are saying, oh, well, she didn't really do it, she's a liar. That's why the governor's angry. While the other side doesn't care that Emma didn't actually say it to him in person. They only care about the fact that she tweeted it, and the governor's office had a huge overreaction and over-response to it, trying to get a girl in trouble because she said some mean things about you. Personally, I would say, fuck Governor Sam Brownback. I currently do not know anything about your policy. All I know, you overreact to people saying mean things about you, and you have a creepy ass smile. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that. You should close your mouth. But of course, that's just my opinion, which leads us to the question of the day. Who's in the wrong here, Emma or Sam Brownback? Let me know in the comments down below. And that, of course, brings us to the part where I throw something at your face, fool. And today, it will be an Xbox 360. I was originally going to give away some of our cool stuff, but it's on sale. Link down below. Have I reminded you enough yet? And of course, to possibly get said thing, just gotta leave a comment on this video, possibly about our question of the day. And of course, a big thank you to those of you that clickety-clack the like button, favorite it, share this video any way you do. It helps me out here, and I love your faces for it. But guys, like I said, that's everything that mattered to me this Monday. As always, my name's Philip DeFranco, and you've just been filled in. And I will see you tomorrow. But I feel like a pretty nice guy. Like, the only time I've gotten into an argument with, like, an intern was they were like, David Tennant sucks, and I was like, not in my house! Don't you dare say nothing about Tennant. Double negatives are allowed now.